Oh my, a bit rusty here.
Ooh, few seconds of black
Few
screen.
seconds of black screen. It's been so long, but we're back with a stream.
Or what? It's been a month and a half, almost. It's
Yeah, it's been a while,
been a while. Good to see you guys again.
but not for bad reasons. We've been working very, very hard all that while, and we're super excited to share with you guys what we've been working on over the next couple streams. And as you've been able to tell from the title of this stream, we're going to be talking about something we've been working on kind of adjacent to QuinlyVision, which is a Wordle type daily puzzle game that we're
Yes.
we're, we're either going to call 3D Printle or 3D Print Fix. That's something we're going to decide together today. Um, but we're really excited to show that off. We're also really excited to give everyone some updates about the work we've been doing with QuinlyVision. And yeah, that's gonna be the majority of the stream today.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got a lot of new stuff to show, and QuinlyVision has evolved a little bit, so we'll show you what's new there, and we'll do a little bit of a playthrough on our 3D Printle game, and just show how to play and kind of talk a bit about like why we made it this way and how it works, that kind of thing. Can see some
Yeah,
good energy in the chat.
yeah, and
Hello, Kevin.
we've got a fancy new feature now, so
Oh yeah, check this out.
nice to say hey to Kevin, and we've also got Trevor. Yeah, and we'll be talking about what this is beyond just being a game. There's some actual practical use to what we've created here, so that's gonna be interesting too, and we'll be going through all that as well.
Yeah. So it'd be nice to hear maybe what you guys think of the name 3D Printle. We also have the idea of 3D Print Fix as the name. We're not fully decided, but I quite like 3D Printle.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it'd be good to hear what you guys think.
Yeah, and just as we wait for people to come in, we'll be going through the game together. It's still pretty early stage, but it's got all the basic features there, and we're at the point where we're excited to hear everyone's ideas. It's playable on desktop and mobile as well, so that's gonna be cool. Yeah, so why don't we?
Well, should we get our QuinlyVision update started? Because we
Sure.
wanted to show you guys a little bit about maybe how QuinlyVision has evolved over the past month and a half. So I think one of the major changes that we've uh, been able to do is QuinlyVision now works on video footage, and it looks really cool. So I think we can get Mateo to swap over our screens here.
There we go. We're just
Yeah,
gonna play it in the background.
we have some looping, annotated QuinlyVision footage right in the background. So um, the one right here is no extrusion on the nozzle, and it's detecting that nothing's coming out of the nozzle.
Yeah, pretty self-explanatory.
Self-explanatory, but
It's a very important feature
yeah,
because I'm sure many of us have walked into our printers doing this and like wasting valuable print time that could have otherwise been used for something else.
yeah, and this is almost as good as like a filament detector. If your filament runs out, then this could save you.
Yeah, that's what we're aiming for.
Yeah, we're aiming for that.
Sensor-free filament out detection, which would be really cool.
Yeah,
But yeah, so we'll just let these play in the background while we talk a bit about what we've been doing with QuinlyVision. So for those of you who don't know, QuinlyVision is mainly vision-based kind of AI detection for print issues. So it doesn't just detect like there are a couple projects out there like that which detect if your print has gone really really wrong, like if it's completely become spaghetti or if there's like debris on your print surface.
yeah,
But our goal with QuinlyVision was not just to tell you when something has gone catastrophically wrong, but actually catch those things before it happens. So while your print is running, it's going to be observing and diagnosing what's happening with your print. So what I mean by that is, um, you know, when your print devolves into spaghetti, that's usually like the end result of something bad happening much earlier on into the print.
Yeah, like if you were watching it, you could have probably noticed that maybe the corner was warping up really far and eventually got pushed off by the nozzle. You could have stopped your print earlier, but you weren't there to see it.
Hmm.
So we're trying to kind of automate the supervision side of 3D printing as well, because we've got the automation for the physical stuff going, but we need to also automate the supervision to make sure the automation is working properly. So it's that feedback loop that we're closing off we're, with QuinlyVision.
Yeah, you see in the back, like you don't want your print to stop when it becomes that bad. You want it to stop much, much earlier.
Yeah,
So yeah, we'll go through. I think we can go through a couple of examples of like live video detection,
yeah,
if everyone's interested. And yeah, if you want to join the discussion and get live updates, we are posting videos on our YouTube channel of each of there's 14 different types of failure detection right now, and we're going through each of them about once a week on this channel.
yeah. You can see me doing the videos if you're on the channel or if you've seen them already, but
Yeah,
they're a bit more in depth than just like a surface level explanation of like what is warping. I'll talk about like how does QuinlyVision see warping and how does the detection work for warping, and also just like what you can do on your own prints to stop that from happening.
yeah, yeah, and like it's pretty in depth, which is I think is interesting because it's like the same type of decisions that as an operator I would be making when I'm staring at my print, right? One of the other big goals that we have with QuinlyVision and with this game is to help people identify failures, uh, more accurately and more correctly. Because I don't know, I know Stephen, you have some thoughts on this, but if any of you have been on the like Fix My Print
Yeah,
subreddit or asked for advice in like a 3D printing Discord or IRC, you'll get like 80% okay advice, 5%
yeah,
really accurate good advice, and then like 5% just completely wrong advice.
yes. And then there's some people like saying memes and stuff, but I think
Yeah, level your bet. It's like the number one thing people say for any issue that you have.
level your bed and calibrate E-steps, no matter what your problem is. But
So,
I've even seen under extrusion and over extrusion being suggested in the same solution,
yeah,
in the same thread. Like,
in the
oh,
same
some people are
thread.
like, no, under extruded, other people's over extruded. Like,
So,
make up your mind.
yeah,
Get QuinlyVision.
yeah. The goal with this is like, if you see something wrong with your print,
That's under extrusion.
that's under extrusion, and it's correctly identifying it. You would like you would take what Quinly Vision is telling you what's going wrong and then use that to search up how to fix it. And down the road we would even try to have Quinly Vision make suggestions to your slicing or suggest solutions for how to fix certain things.
Yeah. Yeah, so actually right now when you're using like 3D Printle, you'll actually get linked to the videos that we've done so far on the various failure modes. So if you want to learn more about like layer shifts or warping, you can check out those videos. And so we're about halfway through all 14. We got a few more coming.
Yeah.
Next one is detach, I believe.
Yeah, that's an interesting one
Yeah,
because that's not like
it's a bit more of an involved one actually. It doesn't sound too hard, just like, oh, something's fallen off the bed. But there's actually quite a bit that goes into that.
yeah. Yeah, it'll get explained more in the video, but it's not as easy as like you can't tell if a part is detached from a single photo usually.
Yeah.
So we've had to come up with a way for it to like understand things, over time, whether stuff is moving around on the build plate and things like that. So yeah, it's pretty that one's pretty hard.
Yeah. I think that one really benefits from like being able to just analyze video footage and being able to like, process like a series of images rather than just looking at a snapshot and trying to tell you if the print's supposed to be in that position or not. It's really hard to tell. So
Okay.
yeah, look forward to that video. It'll be good.
Looks like we got some people from the Discord coming in. Nice to see you, Bob.
Oh,
Uh,
there's Asha.
oh yeah,
Welcome, Asha.
Asha is here too. Nice to see you again. Hopefully, yeah, hopefully it might be interesting for him to see how much progress we've made on this since he was here.
Yeah. I like fix my print is sketchy from Trevor. Yes, unfortunately.
Fix my print. Why is it sketchy?
Well, it's not. If you're getting advice from Fix My Print, you have to kind
Oh,
of
the subreddit.
filter out half of it, and it's really hard to know who's an expert and who's new because they all sound so confident. So
Yeah.
it's hard because some of the really good advice is hidden because they're so humble that they don't want to make it sound like they know what they're talking about. It's the
Yeah,
it's that
pretty
effect
much.
where yeah, if you're very confident, you're probably actually not as confident as you should be.
Yeah, so hopefully like with this, maybe we can provide like a website that you can upload your photo to and it'll tell you kind of what's wrong with it.
Yeah,
And then you can take it to fix my print.
like this will be the prerequisite for posting on Fix My Print is you have to run your image through QuinlyVision and get his their advice. I don't think we've decided if
It's not
QuinlyVision
gendered
is
yet,
male or
no.
female yet. But yeah, we have to get the opinion of QuinlyVision before you can post your print
Yeah.
online for help.
Okay. Should we get into the game? Number one rule. Okay, I have to highlight this comment. He's not watching right now, I don't think. Number one rule is don't listen to Jack.
Or do the exact opposite of what Jack
Mm,
recommends.
no comment. Not gonna comment on that one. Maybe. Okay.
Everyone agrees.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we like Jack. He's good.
Yeah. Oh, Jack is completely right 50% of the time.
Yeah, that's a good way of saying
Yeah. Okay. Should we are there any other updates we should give on
I think that's pretty much it for QuinlyVision, where it's going. We have done a lot of work on the next part of the stream, which is 3D Printle. So why don't we move over to this?
okay.
And by the way, if you guys want to check out the game, it's actually in a link in the description. Should have updated. I posted it right before the stream, and should work on desktop and mobile. Um, I can guarantee it works on desktop. So if you're on a computer, you might as well play it on the computer. But
Yeah, it's
should
slightly
work on
better on
both.
desktop. It
Yeah.
might update while you're playing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff we've been working on. Okay, so here is the homepage. Um, it's got a little nice GIF that shows how the game works, and you can learn about all of the different failure modes available for the game down here. And as you can see, pretty cool, there will be more things unlocked over time, and we'll show you how you can unlock those um, a little bit later. But the game is going to constantly be evolving, and we'll be taking your feedback, adding new features, adding new potential game modes. So this is one of those things where you really want to be checking back daily. And the other thing I should mention is that, like Wordle, it will have a new quiz that's given to everyone every single day so that you can kind of measure your skill in identifying failures and compare to other people.
Yeah. You'll get your. You also have a cool little copy paste thing that works the same kind of way as
We'll
Wordle.
show that later. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. So I guess the main thing of the game is you can measure your 3D printing skills, and you'll be able to compare your score to the AI, QuinlyVision. So this is a way to directly interact with QuinlyVision. And you'll also shortly be able to compare your skills to the rest of the community too. So it's kind of like, I don't know if you've ever played Human Benchmark or something like that, where everyone kind of gets the same test and you can, show off to your friends if you're getting a
Yeah.
really high score.
Like right now, I think we give you a you're better than X% of players,
Yeah,
but eventually, yeah, you'll be able to see how you actually stack up against
like
like
kind of
all
a
the players and
distribution or something.
yeah, and see what most people chose as their average guess kind of thing. We
Yeah.
still have to figure out how we want to visualize that, but
And so one of the big benefits for playing this game, one of the things, I would have liked to have this when I was, before I started working on QuinlyVision, is you will get exposed to thousands of different print failure scenarios. And, I've probably personally experienced thousands of print fails myself, but that's spread over the course of like 7 years of 3D printing.
And you have to suffer losing your own prints and your own filaments.
Yeah. Whereas with this, we've done the fails for you, so you can see and learn from them without experiencing it yourself. And so it's like a really good learning tool, and it's also not very frustrating because it's not happening on your printer.
Yeah,
Um,
you don't lose anything by just looking at a fail online.
yeah. So yeah, so this is gonna be a really good tool just to kind of test yourself, see where you're, um, where you might not have seen a fail before, and eventually also like learn how to prevent fails from happening. Because I know in my early days, what would happen is I would get a specific print to work the way I'd want, and then I would try a different print, and I would experience some kind of fail I've never seen before.
Yeah,
And then I'd have to spend time like going online, looking up what the heck it's called, figuring out a solution for that. And it was, I, I think a lot of people can relate to this, but the experience of 3D printing is like hitting one brick wall after another.
you have to experience all of the fails yourself to get a full understanding of how to prevent them. Like,
Yeah,
everyone's got warping at some point. Everyone had a spaghetti fail at some point. Layer shift. If you haven't experienced most of these fails, you just got really lucky.
yeah. Or you're
So,
printing like nothing beyond a calibration cube,
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
in PLA. That's one of the other things that this will be really helpful for is um, different materials have different types of failures.
Now we got Polymaker in here. Hello,
Oh,
Polymaker.
speaking of different materials, yeah, we
Good
heard
transition.
AI is taking over 3D printing. That's the goal. Taking over the frustrating parts of 3D printing. But yeah, it's like this is pretty great timing. But yeah, you like some failure types you'll only really see with certain materials. And if you're
Mhm.
running an expensive material, you don't want it to be your print that you're seeing this fail on for the
Yeah.
first time. You would have wanted to like with something like Printle and what we plan for QuinlyVision is so that you've been exposed to these images before and you kind of have an idea of what can happen and how to fix it.
Shall we give it a go?
Yeah, let's give it a go. And if you guys want to play alongside us, the link is, oh, I guess we'd be giving everyone the answers. So I would say open the link now so that you're not cheating.
Try it out. We can give you
We'll play it together.
yeah, because it's consider this like a tutorial then,
Yeah.
because yeah, your very first time playing, there's some like little tips I guess we can give along the way to help you get a higher score.
Yeah. So the first thing you'll see is the picture of the fail, and these will be replaced every day, and yeah, it'll just be like a daily benchmark that you can compare against your friends. And if you score really high, it's like getting a Wordle in 3 guesses. If you score really low, you don't share your score to anyone else, which is what I do.
Yeah, especially if it breaks a streak of fours, it's something that's
Oh,
it's really annoying to get a 5.
awesome. Yeah. So yeah, so the interface is pretty simple. You're presented with a fail, a scary fail.
What is this? What's on the screen here?
What's on the screen? It looks like we were trying to print a rocket ship, but something bad happened. And if you're not familiar with the type of fail that's on the screen, every single category you can pick from actually has a description, like a very detailed description and example image of what you should be looking for.
Hey, I recognize that rocket ship.
Yeah, it's almost as if we were printing a whole bunch of these and failing them on purpose. So you can look in and it's actually quite important to study these because some fails can look very similar to one another.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll go over some interesting cases in the future.
Yeah, so you can look through these if you're unsure about what you're looking at or what you're looking for. You can actually look at some of the other ones too.
Yeah, you can sneak peek the locked ones.
Yeah, and so all you do is you pick the one that you think it is. I think this is a layer shift because it was printing here and suddenly it's printing not here. And
Yeah.
you highlight like just around where the box is.
Yeah, you don't
And
want to highlight excessively large boxes.
no, because if you're, for example, highlighting something like this, the layer shift is not really here. You kind of want to think like a robot. Like if a robot was shown this image, where's the layer shift?
Yeah. So
And
the bounding boxes have to be fairly tight on the edges of where the failure ends.
yeah, if you want to get a good score.
Yeah.
Um, if you don't, you can put them anywhere. But I think most of us are inclined to try and score. Well,
We should actually on the next one we should get the chat to like say what they think the fail is.
okay, we'll do that for the next one. This is still the demo.
Yeah,
So
we have to do a walkthrough.
yeah, so you highlight it. You can draw as many boxes as you want, actually. You can click the top right corner to delete things.
So if you want to just go back.
Um, yeah, if you want to undo it. I think this is a layer shift. Actually, I know this is a layer shift because I looked at
You
this
had a
image
pretty big
beforehand.
influence in this whole game.
Yeah. And the other thing you'll see on the screen is the bottom is the maximum amount of points you can get for this test. So this is also a good indication of like how much of the screen is a fail and how many different types of fails there might be in the screen. So these points can range from like 50 to 1,000. And it's a good indicator of the difficulty of the image you're looking at.
Yeah, so a higher score potential is a more difficult image,
Yeah.
usually.
So let's submit this one. So I got
Yeah,
152 out of 155 points. So you can see on the left is what I submitted, and on the right is what QuinlyVision saw. Now, for now, it's just comparing it to a single solution. But as we know from like 3D print fix, people will have differing opinions on what is wrong with a print.
Yeah.
And so in the future, as we get more players, we're actually going to have two solutions. One is the community average.
Yeah.
So like what people are converging on as the right answer, and then also the QuinlyVision solution.
So it'd be like the crowdsourced correct answer based on everyone's opinion,
Mm-hmm.
and then we have what QuinlyVision sees. And the goal is to eventually have QuinlyVision's solution aligning with what the community sees. So as QuinlyVision gets better, hopefully it should get closer and closer to what the actual like supposedly correct answer is. And that's a good point. We should talk about how QuinlyVision's improving over time.
Yeah, we can why don't we do one more and then with everyone, and then we can talk about how QuinlyVision's improving.
Yeah.
Playmaker's saying we gotta play this during our weekly stream. Yeah, it is great for education and process improvement because it will kind of I guess prime you in case you see something similar to one of these fails. So one of our goals with this quiz is to show you as many different fails as we can get. And trust us when we say we have hundreds of thousands of images of failed prints that we can show you. So it's like a bit of a learning tool. Printcord says they haven't had a fail in a very long time, and I think that's part of the problem. Like you don't learn until you get a fail, and once you're up that wall, you're pretty good. And what we're trying to do with the 3D Printle game is basically accelerate you up that wall, expose you to many different types of issues so that you can try to preempt them, or if you do end up getting a fail, you'll know how to deal with it.
Yeah, because it's quite easy to go online and look at there's some like nice infographics on how to identify a print fail, but actually interacting with a print fail will help it stick in your brain better. It's how learning is different for different people, but I think interacting with an image like this and kind of having a game aspect to it will actually improve learning for like a lot of people, but especially people new to 3D printing. It makes it less of a chore, I think.
Okay. Printcord, who I know is Jack, says my fail rate is 0.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. I
Sure.
you've sent me photos of your fails to try through QuinlyVision, so I know that's not true. But even if your fail rate is zero, you can use this game to brag among your expert peers and see who can get the highest score.
Yeah. So if you really do get zero fails, I expect your score to be 100%.
Yeah, exactly. So speaking of, let's move on to the next screen. So this game is actually really quick. Um, there are only 5 images per day. Uh, you know, and we'll open more game modes based on feedback. But here's one, if you guys are playing with us, that we should we should do together.
Yeah, this one's an interesting one.
This one's actually pretty tricky. So you
Yeah.
can see that the maximum amount of points is 455. So this is one of those cases where you have two failure types that look pretty similar. So if you're playing along, maybe type in chat what you think this issue is. But yeah, why don't we talk about print fails that look similar to one another?
Yeah. Okay, well, there's a good classic example for print fails that can look similar to each other, and that's the spaghetti versus stringing uh, dilemma, I guess we can call it.
Yeah.
So we've actually had a little nice infographic on our webpage here. This just to show the difference between spaghetti and stringing, because this is one I see a lot on the Fix My Print subreddit, is people say, oh, you have stringing on your print, but it's actually a whole extruded line that's come off the print or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not really stringing if it's supposed to be there.
And the fixes for stringing are not going to fix that type of issue.
Yeah,
which is
that's
how a
kind
lot
of
of
the main
people
issue.
can get misled. Yeah.
Yeah. So here we have, it's pretty clear, I guess, if you see it in the images, but
When
yeah.
you see it for the first time just on your own, it can be pretty confusing. Like
Yeah.
I actually didn't know what stringing was called the first time I saw it. I remember like I was getting these little branches. So it's like tree branches on my print. Like,
Yeah.
I was searching that kind of thing. And
I've seen people say my print has cobwebs.
yeah, my print has hairs.
Yeah.
That's another common one too. And then that also starts like my print is webby. Is I've seen people describe their spaghetti like that, like or drooping,
Yeah.
drooping overhang. So like we kind of want to clear up that
Yeah, they're very different.
yeah, it is, and
And
they're caused by very different things.
yeah, it's just that they might be the same word that you use if you hadn't ever seen them before. And so they have, spaghetti is kind of the word that the 3D printing community's chosen for the catastrophic extrusion
Like the
with
worst
nothing
thing
to
ever.
touch it. So it just
Yeah.
goes into a mess. But it looks like strings. So some people might call it stringing without knowing.
Yeah, especially if you use a thinner nozzle too.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and you can see the counterpart too. Thin wispy strands of material connecting 2 points on a printed part. So there will be some information that's like very clearly delineates one from the other. And then of course this is similar to how we train QuinlyVision. It needs to be able to tell that same difference just like you would.
Yeah, so stringing on QuinlyVision, it would have to have both ends of the string would have to touch the print.
So Kevin is saying under extrusion and layer shift as he gets for this image. And
it's a pretty good answer.
That's a pretty good answer. And those are two that are also look very similar sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So because we caused this failure, we actually know that all of these are under extrusion. There are issues with the extruder. And you can kind of tell when it's under extrusion versus a layer shift, because under extrusion will be missing material and layer shifts will be misplaced material. So material in the wrong area, but it won't be missing.
Yeah, and actually from this camera angle, it's a tricky camera angle because it's straight side on, so you don't actually get to see if there's that exposed infill or the if it's on the other side of the layer shift, you get to see like drooping. But since there's neither of that in this photo, I think it's fair to say that it's more likely to be under extrusion.
So like with something like a layer shift, as Stephen mentioned, and this is really important for how we detect it too, is you'll get exposed infill on one side and really weird overhanging parts on the other side. I don't see a bad overhang on this side. And from this angle, I can't tell if there's exposed infill, but given that there's not a bad overhang over here, I'm going to say that it is actually under extrusion. This picture is also another critical one when highlighting. You want to highlight every instance of it happening. So if you look, it's actually under extruded once here, and then it went good again, and you can see there's more missing material here, and then of course at the top there's also some missing material. So you want to highlight it like in the image every time it happens.
Yeah, so you could in fact draw a huge box around all three, but that won't give you as good of a score because you highlighted a bunch of unnecessary area.
Yeah, and the part in the middle here is not under extruded. So you want to be very precise with how you're doing it if you want to get a good score. I mean, that's all part of the learning process too. The reason QuinlyVision detects each individual instance is very important for when it's detecting quality issues. We don't want it to just be like, oh, everything from this point onward is under extrusion. We want to see where the under extrusion happened in the actual print.
Yeah.
Because then down the road, we can look at, with the G code that corresponds to this part of the print, is there something that might be causing this under extrusion?
Mm-hmm.
Or is there something in the model itself that might be causing this issue in this very localized area? So that's why it's important to try and catch every instance of it. That was a lot of words. Let's see whether we got it right. Okay.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good. 460 out of 465.
And you can see it's actually really hard to get a perfect score. Like Matteo knows the answers here, and it's still quite hard to get a perfect score. So if you get quite close though, it'll still give you like a very high score. So we kind of tweaked the scoring algorithm to make it sort of generous enough so that if you get pretty close, you get like 99%. But then yeah, that final, I guess, 1% still leaves a bit of room for you to squeak out an extra 2 or 3 points here and there.
Steph saying, Carlo explained to me that if you look at the far side of and it's continuous, then you know it's under extrusion. It doesn't shift. That's a good point as well. If you look at the silhouette of the print and it's not like suddenly having overhangs, then you know it's probably not a layer shift. Layer shifts are generally like very dramatic. You can usually tell it's as if you chopped your part into 2 pieces.
It seems like you played this game before.
Seems like, yeah.
It's not like we haven't like tried it.
Yeah, we've been furiously testing it to make sure that it works when we show you guys. It is actually quite hard, and one of the things that we're looking for in feedback from people is whether we need to adjust the scoring or make hints or something like that. We'll talk about that at the end too.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that we haven't talked about yet is this bar at the top, which is the QuinlyVision AI progress. So the interesting thing about this bar is it's not just a level for you as a player. This progress bar increases as everyone plays the game. So when I submit images, I give progress to this bar. When you submit images, progress goes to this bar. And actually, when everyone is playing, this bar will like increase whenever an image is submitted.
Yeah, so by the end of this, QuinlyVision's AI experience will go up, essentially.
So maybe a fun goal for this stream would be to see if collectively we can get it up to level 3. And what this bar represents is it's by the amount of answers submitted. And what we'll do is when we hit certain level thresholds, we're going to retrain QuinlyVision with the new information and put it back in the game so that the actual, I guess, the images that you're playing against are going to start getting harder day by day. As you improve your skill by playing the game, and as QuinlyVision improves with the information that it's getting, um, the whole game is going to start getting harder and harder.
So we're going to unlock more different failure modes over time. So
Yeah.
Maybe at level 10, we unlock no extrusion.
Mm-hmm.
And then some of the new images will have no extrusion. And maybe there'll be like no extrusion and under extrusion in the same image. And it'll be like a difficult problem.
So that's, yeah. So keep that in mind. Everyone, this is like a collective progress bar that everyone can contribute towards, which is why we say, share this out with your friends, try to hit certain level thresholds, because as we all play the game more and more parts of the game get unlocked for everyone. Which I think is like the coolest part of this is the fact that you can work together to unlock more of the game. Should we go through more answers, or should we keep it secret so people don't get spoiled?
Well, I think we should maybe
finish this.
Slowly go through them over the course of the stream, because maybe we don't want to spoil them for some people.
Well, I'll finish these ones because I also want to show the end screen.
Oh, that's true. That's important. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
Okay, so we're on level 3 now.
Are we on level 3?
Bob Melted Book has unlocked level 10 failure mode for his printers.
Level 10. He's seen so many failure modes that he's already reached level 10. Yeah. Okay. Should I show the answers on the stream?
I think for this one it's okay, because it's supposed to be a tutorial.
For the first 5, okay.
Yeah. Like every time you play a new game, usually you get one. The first go isn't really a real playthrough. You have to learn how to do it first.
There are 5 more images after this that people can try that won't be spoiled.
Yeah.
So this is an interesting one. This is what we were talking about earlier in the stream that is kind of difficult for QuinlyVision to detect just from a single image. Is something like a detach. And we can use kind of this is also a really good example of why it's important that QuinlyVision sees different types of failures at the same time, because detaches are kind of determined through context clues. This part on its own looks normal, looks fine.
Yeah.
But anyone who's 3D printed before can tell, this part is not attached to the bed. It's totally moved.
Yeah, like why is the skirt there and the part there? Doesn't work.
So that's what we're trying to train QuinlyVision to do. And some of the ways that it can determine that is, as I mentioned, context clues. If you're air printing and there's a model adjacent to the air printing, that's a pretty good hint that the model has moved out from under the nozzle.
And actually in real-time footage, you'll get to see kind of multiple images. Maybe the model moves slightly between each image, and that'll be easier for like a machine learning algorithm to check out like relative motion, for example. But we just get one image here, so I think we have to use a bit more of our detective skills to figure out what went wrong.
The other huge hint is the fact that the skirt is over here in the middle of the bed, and the part is outside of its own skirt.
Yeah.
So that's also a really big hint that, okay, this part is probably moved. So this is probably a detach. Yeah, so I'm just going to submit. Oops. Hit delete. I'm going to submit this one. You can see it's a 300.1, so that usually means like
it's probably medium difficulty.
Yeah, it's like two things that you'll see. So submit that one.
Ooh, it's pretty. Oh, it's not as good as your other ones though.
I know.
All right.
Now this is one of the ones that's pretty debatable. Like, should I have selected the whole string, or I should have been more specific for sure. But this is one of those things you just hop into our Discord and argue with us about the answer, and we'll try to make it better next time.
Yeah, because the fun thing about this is that there can't really be a perfect answer for any of these, but we're trying to get as close to a generally acceptable answer as we possibly can.
Yeah, let's do one more. Or 2 more. Okay, so this is just a better angle of what we saw before.
It's the same one, but 20 minutes faster or further forward in time.
So you can see, this is nothing has really shifted. The silhouette of the print makes sense. It's a guy sitting on a rock, thinking on a rock. So it's probably not layer shift. So if you got it wrong on the first one, which is uh, possible, you can kind of tell from this one it's not going to be a layer shift because you don't see anything crazy going on with the outline of the print.
Yeah, actually, this angle I think makes it easier.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna make my boxes as tight as I can.
And they can overlap if there is
Oh yeah,
overlap in the boxes. That doesn't
it doesn't really
count
matter.
against you. If you have to make them overlap to make the boxes make sense, then you can overlap them.
Yeah, definitely. You don't lose points, right? And yeah, 455. That's kind of like okay. There's probably two big boxes. There's three smaller boxes. So yeah, I made this answer, so it's kind of cheating, but
Yeah, you guys post your if you try this, post in our Discord in one of the channels, maybe the general channel even, just what you get in your results.
we'll show you how to do that too.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so here's another one. This one, there's two things going on here. You can see their score is about 300. So, um, one of them is like, this is definitely, the print is not sticking. This is becoming an
I hesitate to call
blob.
that a print.
The filament is not sticking. And this is, you'll see with like high temp filaments, um, things like nylon, you'll sometimes get this.
Or if your nozzle wasn't level,
Or if your
that wasn't level,
true, yeah,
nozzle wasn't
could
level.
be it. Could actually be so many things.
Yeah.
But it's definitely forming a nozzle blob around here. And then I've got all this like stringy spaghetti stuff, so I'm just gonna put spaghetti around this, dude.
We should say what a nozzle blob is, how a nozzle blob is different from spaghetti, because they could look similar in some cases.
Yeah,
You might want to select the whole thing and call it a nozzle blob, but we've actually separated the dark clump of plastic around the nozzle as the nozzle blob, and then the stringiness around that as spaghetti. So even if the spaghetti eventually connects to the nozzle blob, we're considering those two different things.
yeah, that's true. Because the nozzle blob itself could have picked up something from elsewhere on the print bed.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna highlight this. Now, one point of debate would be, what do I do about this little clump here? Do I highlight this or do I not? And that is like one of those subjective things. I don't know if this is worth highlighting because isn't really destructive to a print. But I don't know. That's where I'd probably ask people for feedback. Like, what do you guys think? Is it important to mark these little pieces down? And this would probably be something like a detach because it's a loose thing on the bed. I don't know.
Yeah, that'll be moving around a bunch as the print moves too.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of yeah, room for interpretation on like edge cases and stuff.
Which is why we've been pretty lenient with the scoring. You'll see at the end. Oh, Polymaker's off to set up their stream. I hope you guys enjoy the game.
Yeah, they said that they would actually try it out.
Yeah, there are what 10 more levels beyond this that they can try that haven't been spoiled for them.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not gonna highlight that. I'm just gonna submit this. Yeah, because the answer doesn't have it highlighted. But you can see I
We want to
like
get a good score on this one because we did design the game.
you can see that, my boxes were not actually that close to the expected, but it is pretty lenient with this. I only got 20 points off because, the nozzle blob it's an amorphous blob. It can kind of be anywhere.
Yeah, so also a lot of points are granted for actually getting the correct failure types identified, and then the boxes are an additional points. So it's not like, yeah, if you draw the box wrong, but you get the failure types right, you'll get 0. It's more like you'll just get half points or something.
Oh, whoops, I skipped to the next quiz. Just give me a second here. Why don't you talk about benefits for learning and benefits for the AI?
Yeah, okay. All right. So I guess one thing I do like about the potential for this game is for learning, especially in schools where maybe they don't want to have all their students fail prints just to get the experience of failing a print. Rather than,
That's it's super expensive for
yeah, it's
schools.
filament, time, and more likely to damage the printer. Um, so having kind of a non-destructive way to experience a failed print, I think is really important. And so what we want to do with this is provide also resources for how to solve the print fail in the image. So right now our way of doing this is just having all the videos linked at the bottom of the page. Um, but uh, we've had some more ideas from people from our beta testers. Um, so maybe if enough people collectively decide that the print is like a layer shift, for example, there can be, people suggesting fixes, and then people can upvote the best suggestions, and it's kind of like like a message board style thing.
Hmm.
There's a lot of ways that this could go. So there's um, still just in the beginning stages, and if you guys have good ideas for this, uh, we can implement them. But yeah, like one thing we do want to focus on is how can we make this better for learning, and any sort of features that would improve that. We're definitely open to hearing them.
Yeah, Trevor's suggesting maybe have an algorithm fix your print. That's where we want to go with this ultimately. We need to be able to tell what's wrong with a print before we can fix it. And so if we
Yeah,
can reliably tell what's going wrong with a print, um, we can also work with the community to determine ways of fixing that print, whether it's, it could point you to a printer hardware issue, like no extrusion is often a hardware issue, or it could point to a slicing issue, like stringing, for example, is usually a retraction setting in your slicer.
yeah,
So that's where we want to go with this, but the first step is to get the community kind of uh, up to speed on all the different types of failures so that they can see what's going on, train QuinlyVision up to accurately diagnose issues as they're happening, and then be able to make suggestions. And then finally, it would be to, try to do automated repair on like slicing settings or G code.
yeah, yeah. And also, one thing we wanted to do is make sure that the game was like fun to play. So
Yeah.
if there's anything that you guys don't like about the game, or you think would make it more fun to play, really well open to that, because game is still in its early stages. So yeah, really hoping to get your guys' feedback on that.
So if you've made it to the end of the gauntlet, you'll reach this screen, and this screen will give you some stats. So it'll give you your score out of the maximum possible score. It'll also give you like average score per image. Um, from this page, you can share your score, so you can actually like copy it, and you'll get basically for each image, you'll kind of get a ranking of black, yellow, or green box. Now this is a quiz I did really quickly to show you guys this screen, so I messed up the first picture. But yeah, if you want, share your score, copy it, you know, send it in Discord. Are we logged in?
You'd be on mine. You can send it in general.
There you go. And yeah. Oh, it also gives you a ranking against everyone else who has played the daily quiz. So if you're the first person to play it, you get the number one spot.
Hey, we got first.
Yeah. Oh, dang, we got up to level 3 already. That means a lot of other people are playing too. That's pretty cool to see it updating in real time.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I think
Level
when we
three.
hit like level 10, we're gonna unlock another one of these, and I'll retrain QuinlyVision to make it a little bit more accurate. And what's going to be really cool is to see how QuinlyVision's score compares to the community average scores, because that'll be a really interesting comparison to track over time. Like,
Yeah. Well, honestly, like man versus machine, kind of how close can we get to humans, or can QuinlyVision eventually somehow become better than a human?
surpass humans.
Yeah.
Well, that's the goal. I think
I think
just
actually we would want them both to converge because then that would mean everyone thinks like we want to agree with what QuinlyVision says, and
yeah,
QuinlyVision
yeah.
should agree with what we said. So it shouldn't be that QuinlyVision somehow becomes smarter than us. It should be that it makes
Well,
sense with what we think.
maybe. Like, I don't want to have so much knowledge about print fails.
Well,
You
maybe that
know,
it could make better like decisions and
give you good guidance.
yeah,
Like,
give more accurate advice. That's definitely a possibility.
yeah. Um,
Hmm.
what else do we have?
Yeah. So yeah, so let's talk about maybe also some of the future things that we want to do with QuinlyVision.
Yeah, so this is a game you can play it at quinlyvision.com/quiz. Um, and yeah, like the game gets more fun as more people play, especially with like the live progress bar at the top and the community average score. Like that's going to be really interesting to see, not just how you compare to a computer, but how you compare to what everyone else guessed.
Hmm.
So definitely share it, watch, play every daily quiz so that you can watch how you improve over time and how the algorithm improves over time. Um, and a really good way of doing that is to do the share my result, send it to one of your friends, see if they can score higher than you, see if they're
Hmm.
better than you at detecting fails. Um, and yeah, maybe challenge, I don't know, some of your favorite influencers. Like it's super cool that Polymaker is going to be featuring this on their stream. I think they're going to have a lot of fun with it and with their audience as well. It's definitely going to be interesting to see. And one thing that we can probably do at the end of the week is put together some like community average graphs
Yeah,
and share them in our Discord and maybe up on the site as well.
that would be pretty cool. Yeah, some data, some stats.
Yeah.
We could track how good we get over time. If the community average score is slowly increasing, then people are getting smarter,
Yeah, and
which is
then
really
that
nice.
means we have to put harder challenges.
Yeah,
That's going to be really cool.
yeah.
Yeah, seeing how things get harder and harder over time. I like
That's gonna
that.
be funny. Yeah.
Man versus fix my print. I mean, that's what it's going to be. It'll be like you versus AI versus community consensus. And I think that's going to be super interesting to see like where does the AI fall? Where does the community fall? Because you're going to definitely see like crazy boxes
Yeah.
in the community average. And where do you fall like among that? And yeah, I think that's going to be really interesting. And see also like how you compared against your friends, for example.
Hmm.
Because it was really interesting when we were testing the game, seeing where we all disagreed on what certain failures were.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Um,
got some really tricky ones in the first one.
yeah,
They were
they were way too hard.
they were what I would call, yeah, 10 out of 10 difficulty.
Yeah, there was
Like
there
four
was
different failure kinds. Like I had to draw like 17 boxes or something. It
actually
was incredibly
I'll
hard.
pull up a picture of it while you describe what did it look like.
Yeah, so I guess the most difficult one, I think it was probably the Eiffel Tower,
Yeah,
which had under extrusion, stringing, and what we call poor overhang and poor bridging. That's a different failure mode from stringing. And I think there was also maybe spaghetti in it too. And the
there
shapes are
was.
very complicated. So I had to draw like multiple boxes to get
Yeah,
everything. It looked just insane. But
it was so mean.
I think by the end of it, it ended up being somewhat close to the actual answer. So I was quite happy with it.
The scoring was also really strict before, like insanely strict.
Yeah, that was actually funny. Our original scoring algorithm was was really brutal.
Yeah, I think
It was hard to get a
like
good score.
none of us got like more than 30%. I know I had made the first set of answers and I got like 50%, which is insane. Oh, okay,
That's a hard one. Yeah,
this
I
is
think
a
I
hard
got
one.
that from a different angle, but same thing.
Okay, this is it, guys. This was the this was one of them.
What is going on here?
Okay. Yeah, it's like now QuinlyVision does detect like all the things in this, which is cool, but
Yeah,
it's just so hard to start out with, but you can see it had like under extrusion everywhere and at the same time stringing and at the same time like really bad overhangs. And this print is just a disaster. And like you have to draw boxes in a very specific way. It was just super hard to play. Like
yeah, and the stringing can be really subtle too, because it's just really thin lines.
yeah, you can barely see um this one. Yeah, you can barely see the strings. Like the image is also really low resolution. Like it's fine for QuinlyVision because it doesn't need high resolution to work, but you know, it's actually really hard to see these, like to notice these. It could just be a reflection.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like so when we first made it, we used these really, really hard images. Like, what is this? No, how would you classify this? And we also decided, okay, this is like a learning curve for everyone. So we're going to start with 6 failure types and unlock the other ones over time
Yeah,
because
definitely a good idea.
yeah, it just gets so complicated. Like it was ridiculously hard. Oh, Matea got
Ooh, 1460 out of
14,
17.
60, 50 from the first quiz. Okay, nice.
Better than 75% of players. So 4 people have played and finished so far, it seems. That's 75.
Yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, we're already at level 4, guys.
Level 4.
That's crazy.
It's pretty good.
That is pretty. We're gonna have to unlock this like tomorrow. Well, I'm all for it.
How
Like,
do the levels go up? Does it go from like 100, 200, 300, all the way to 1,000 and then get to the next level, or does it get harder to level up?
over time it gets harder because you know we don't want like that's how leveling works,
Yeah,
and that's how the training works for QuinlyVision too. Like, you do get diminishing returns.
yeah, that's
So
true.
it's kind of it's trying to accurately reflect it. So yeah, the more people that are playing this, the more interesting data we'll have to show you guys at the end of each quiz where the community ended up and how you compare to them. And also the more interesting, you know, QuinlyVision will get with its results and it'll like we'll be able to show like harder fails and yeah, some more interesting stuff. Yeah. But my favorite part of this game is definitely like while I'm playing it, seeing that other people are contributing to it.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe yeah, let's try to make it a goal to get to like level 10 by the end of the week or something so we can unlock no extrusion. I feel like that would be pretty fun.
that's a good goal. Yeah, and no extrusion shouldn't be too hard to identify. So that'll be
We'll see.
well, I don't think it's too hard to identify, but
Yeah, no extrusion
yeah.
is pretty simple. Um, yeah, I do like this. Man versus fix my print. Steph says QuinlyVision doesn't have to squint. I think in reference to the super low resolution images that it's trained on.
Yeah, QuinlyVision has an advantage. Doesn't have eyes.
Yeah, it doesn't
Actually doesn't have eyes. It has
it
webcam, I
get
guess.
exact pixel values
Yeah.
and colors. Yeah, definitely. Well, that's good. That means it can run on a Raspberry Pi and it doesn't need like a 2080
Yeah.
to run inference. Um, yeah. So let us know how you think. We've got a Discord channel set up just for this game. Share your results in our Discord or in other Discords. Maybe challenge like other communities. I think it'll be interesting to see. Maybe over time, kind of going into the future ideas, we've been talking about maybe setting up teams so that different teams of people could try to get certain scores. Like,
Yeah, we could do like Ender 3 users versus Prusa users or something like
oh,
that. That'd be pretty cool.
that would be rough.
I don't know. I think Ender 3 users would be better because they'd see more fails.
That's like the most backhanded thing I've ever heard.
I'm a huge Ender 3 fan, so I don't know. I get a lot of fails sometimes.
Ender 3 users will be good at this game because they see more fails. Wow.
Yeah, well, I say that as a probably
Yeah,
Ender 3 is
we
my
have
absolute favorite
we've
printer, so
we've bought 50 Ender 3s. Like we've seen a lot of fails,
yeah.
but it's not untrue.
Maybe
It's
that's
just
why we're so good at this.
it's so mean. Yeah, maybe that put us in the position to work on QuinlyVision. SquintlyVision. Oh, that's
Ooh, that's a good, nice one.
maybe we need to rename the game. SquintlyVision.
Does QuinlyVision get cataracts? Oh man,
Uh,
I don't think we're gonna do that.
hopefully not.
We don't, unless we need to,
You have to
make it
pay
easier.
buy like
QuinlyVision gets too good, but
buy
also,
LASIK for it.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
at a level 100.
that'd be better. Yeah, this is so mean, but so true at the same time. Um, hmm. Yeah, so the link is live if you guys want to play. Try it on mobile too. We just put it on mobile today, so let us know if you run into any problems with it. I know on some phones it's like zoomed in, but that should be fixed today or tomorrow. On desktop, it's pretty much good to go. And we went through it quite slowly, but I think it takes like 2 minutes
Yeah,
to go through it. It's supposed to be like a quick daily, like get your brain going. Maybe play this before you start printing something.
yeah, like the first one, you do take your time just to get your a feel for how it all works. But yeah, I think after that it should be uh, fairly breezy.
Yeah, and something we've done for it's kind of special for today is there are 3 quizzes available so that you get like some good practice in. And
Hmm.
then every day a new one. When you reach the end, you'll see a countdown. Every day a new one will be released.
Yeah, I think one thing we were thinking of doing in the future is having a specific tutorial page where you can replay the same
Yeah.
quiz over and over again.
One of the other really a good ideas that was suggested in our Discord was to have a mode where like the boxes are already on the image and you
Mm.
just have to say what each fail is.
Yeah, that would be a really nice way to walk people through the very basics of identifying print failures
Yeah.
because for someone who's super new to 3D printing who doesn't even know the words for what stringing is, that's kind of the best way I think to.
Yeah, maybe we'll introduce that sooner rather than later, especially as we unlock more fail modes. Like it gets really hard. So yeah, only the best of the best can
Hmm.
play. Yeah, I'm so curious what people are scoring because it's like the first time it hasn't been internal people. And after Polymaker streams theirs, I'm sure they're gonna.
That's gonna be cool. Actually, we should
I'm
check out
so
Polymaker's
yeah,
stream
we should
after.
we'll watch their stream after.
Well, we can't really raid on YouTube, but we should have. Once we're done, go to Polymaker.
Yeah,
I think they said they start in an hour-ish, so
yeah, I think it's
we'll be
an
done by
hour.
then.
What else do we have? Oh, another thing that we've been talking about is bonus points. So one of the things is community average score doesn't come in right away because you need many people to go through the same quiz.
Yeah,
So what we're thinking about doing is like if you scored, you'll get 2 scores. You'll get one which is like the immediate score, and then one bonus score that's awarded later that gives you bonus points if you were close to the community average as well.
yeah. I think part of the I guess idea behind bonus points is also um, trying to be ambitious with the failures that you're detecting. So,
Yeah.
say for example, there's a little string of spaghetti that you're not sure, like everyone will pick up on. You can we can potentially give bonus points for people who found that piece of spaghetti that might not be obvious to everyone.
Yeah, actually that's a great point. Like that little schmutz that was on the bed that I think Trevor said, he would argue that that was a valid thing to highlight. Even if you didn't get the score for it because QuinlyVision didn't see it, if most of the community agreed with you on it, you would be awarded bonus points later. So like
Hmm.
if you and many other people thought that the answer wasn't perfectly accurate and you guys all kind of agreed on a certain answer, you would get awarded bonus points. And actually your points do get tracked, like your lifetime points get tracked as well. So you can see like if you start early, and this is the thing, the earlier you start, the higher your points will be. But we're gonna put a leaderboard up so that um, you can compare lifetime points and you can compare points per quiz as well.
Yeah. And you'll also get to see your lifetime contribution to the total QuinlyVision progress.
But that's over here.
Yeah, so far we're 77%. Actually, I think people have done stuff since
Oh yeah,
we can refresh.
yeah,
Oh,
it's
we're almost at level
almost
6.
level 6.
Wow,
So
so we're at 34% now. Wow, we dropped off a lot.
yeah, that's because I did 10 pictures this time.
Yeah.
So we're almost level 6.
That's really cool. I'm glad to see our experience is rising quickly.
That puts a lot of pressure on us to
Level 10, that's pretty soon around the corner.
yeah, that could be like in
You got anything
another
going on tonight?
hour.
Yeah,
Yeah, we have to see
for retrain QuinlyVision.
what Max is doing.
Bit of blurriness on that level 10 mark.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, I don't know what I'm gonna do if it hits them. It'll be level 10, but like plus minus one day,
Yeah,
maybe.
give us some time.
Yeah. Yeah. If it hits level 20, we'll see what happens. Um, yeah, but I definitely implore you guys to
Kevin, sorry, keep going.
what?
You got 250 out of 125.
He got an impossible score. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I guess maybe he's talking about the community average. That would be possible.
Oh yeah. I wonder how he did that.
Damn. He found a bug in the game.
Yeah, if it's a bug posted,
Yeah,
we'll
please
fix
let us know
it.
if this is something we have to fix. He's already found an exploit.
Watch Kevin be first place now. He has like 100% community.
Possible. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see what people. I'm posted in other discords too. We got to get everyone on this. I think it'll be a fun like daily challenge. I'm tired of people sending me Wordles. I want
Yeah, we
people to
gotta
send
switch
me
it up.
printles or printles. Um, yeah, I mean it's like I don't know. I'm not super good at words.
Yeah, I still play Wordle. I actually play the Quirtle as well now because Steph told me to and it's fun.
It's too hard. I've spent like an hour on a Wordle a few days ago. No, was it last week or something? And I kind of uh, burnt out after that
Yeah, well sometimes it's really hard because there's
because
so little
you
information,
want
but
to
you know
get it
there's
in
only one
3.
word you can possibly get from it to
Yeah,
find the word.
you like if you have the chance to get it in 3. Like I think I did the first 2 guesses and then
Yeah,
spent like 55 minutes on the third guess.
I've done that before too.
Yeah.
I remember the word was vivid
Oh,
about a week ago or something. I spent like yeah half an hour on that one.
I think it was rupee was the one that I got in 3, which was like
That's a hard word.
oh no, yeah, it was 4. It was I got puree, which makes sense,
Oh,
and then rupee.
wow.
Yeah, but there was one that was one of my friends. I think it was yesterday's. He got it in 2.
Oh, lucky. My dad, the first time he played Wordle, he got it in two. I don't understand what he did, but
His
he,
first guess was 1 green and 4 yellows.
wow,
Yeah,
that's impressive.
insane.
Some people just get lucky.
We'll see how people do with this. Cynic. Oh my,
Cynic. Oof.
that's evil. The double letters are trick you. Just like in this one, when there's more than one box, that tricks you too.
Hmm.
Um, should we talk about what we're doing next week?
Next week, we can say that there's really cool stuff happening next week.
Yeah.
We've done we how much did we say? I don't know. You know more about this than I do.
There's gonna be a short video, like a YouTube short, I think, and a TikTok going up where I explain what I've been working on, and it is related to QuinlyVision, but it's also just like really cool.
Yeah.
It's like one of the coolest things uh that yeah, we've got so much cool stuff going on. Like this game has been really, really fun to put together and like this is fun and then next week we're gonna show you yeah, something really cool and really secret that I've been working on.
It's like an
Um
experiment that just turned out a lot better than any of us
yeah,
expected.
it was something I worked on during the long weekend and I was
Yeah.
like, you know, how well could this work for QuinlyVision? And if you guys have been watching the stream for a while, um, you will have, there are hints to what it is. I think in one of our December streams or November streams,
Hmm. Oh yeah.
we talked about it briefly. But yeah, how well it worked is crazy.
Yeah. Honestly, I was very impressed
I
when
was
Mateo sent me
I
the
was really
video.
surprised. I didn't think it'd work that well.
Yeah.
Um, we won't say anymore.
It's cool. It's gonna be good.
It's really cool. Yeah. We'll only show you if Printle reaches level 20 by next week.
There
So
you
post
go.
it in every Discord, every 3D printing Discord you're in. Maybe this is a good thing to suggest for like people on Fix My 3D Print to get trained up too. They have to reach like
If you want to learn how to fix you know, zips, you gotta get QuinlyVision all the way up to level 100.
yeah, they have to reach like 10,000 points before they're allowed to post comments
Yeah.
in Fix My 3D Print or something. No, I'm just kidding.
Are we? Oh, we're level
Oh
7.
my goodness.
This is good.
This means a lot of work for me and Max. No, but this is awesome. Yeah.
It's cool to see this bar everyone can contribute to. It
Yeah,
feels really nice to like see it change all the time now.
to see it change up to yeah, and it's changing a bit faster than I expected too, which is awesome. Like it's fun to be able to work with other people to do it and the fact that it unlocks things for everyone, I think it's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to make the levels longer soon. Like
It
after.
is. Now it's 3,000 XP.
Oh.
Yeah, it was 1,000
Oh, I
before.
see. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It says experience until next level.
It does scale.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, share this out to your 3D printing friends. See whether you can beat them.
See who's actually the best at finding print fails.
Yeah. Eagle eye.
Yeah.
Um, and join us next week. Keep an eye on our YouTube. Keep an eye on our I don't even our TikTok. We'll be at level 20 by tonight. Peer pressure works. Um, maybe they're non yeah, make your non 3D printing friends play too. It's like it's super valuable knowledge, I promise. Um, but yeah, we got something really, really exciting to show next week. Like super cool. Almost as cool as this.
It's kind of weird that we've been doing all this cool stuff and saying that there's more cool stuff coming, but
I know.
there actually is.
We've just been working so much these last couple months that we haven't even had time to live stream anything.
Yeah. Yeah, we've kind of piled up a lot of cool stuff to show you guys. So
Yeah. Oh, we're tiny.
but also make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel.
Yeah.
It's, if you've been enjoying the stream so far, it'll help us out. Get that algorithm, you know, YouTube algorithm pushing us around more places. It's always good.
Definitely.
And the more people that see this video, the faster QuinlyVision will uh, get the level 10.
The
So
faster you can use QuinlyVision for yourself.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, and also we'll be posting weekly the the explainer videos. So yeah, check those out as they come out. They'll roughly coincide with what's available on the game too. So detach is coming next, and then warping, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and so you'll be able to see like more examples of the stuff that we've got going on um, in the background here, like actual live video being detected by QuinlyVision. Yeah, thanks to everyone for subscribing and for liking the video. Just a reminder to do that if you haven't and if you enjoy this stuff. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how the next little while goes.
Yeah. And
And
also join us on Discord. You can post your scores there and see what else is going on. There's, we're still doing the 3D printer automation stuff too. We still have Quinly kits
this is a
for,
huge part of that.
yeah, for all kinds of printers. Uh, yeah, and if you're interested more, we have a website, 3dq.com. You can check that out and see what we're all about. Is that it? I think that's it.
Oh, Steph brings up a good point.
Oh,
We
yeah.
didn't mention QuinlyVision is going to be available for all printers.
Oh, yeah.
You can see from just the videos we've got going on in the background, the angle and the actual printer doesn't really matter too much. So you can put it on any machine. At least that's what we have in mind.
Yeah, we also have some video. It'll probably loop soon of just a print on a table, and QuinlyVision works fine on that too. So it's not that it's trained on only Quinly printers. It works on every printer and
And
even on
also
parts in random space.
not printers, yeah.
Yeah, just parts on a table.
Yeah, we're looking at, it might be possible one day to just have have it be a scanner for part quality outside of a printer too.
Yeah.
I believe that's possible.
Here, like this is an
Yeah,
example.
that's not on a printer. That
Yeah.
is on a table.
So hopefully that shows that QuinlyVision's not just trained on Ender 3 for Quinly. There's a lot more. I guess it's agnostic to printers and platforms.
Yeah.
That's the same part, but on a printer.
Actually, while it was printing. An interesting note, why it doesn't really highlight this top part of spaghetti is because it's more of like an overhang issue.
Right.
So that's
You
why
filtered out the overhang so it wasn't
yeah,
in the video.
that's why it's not highlighting it. Okay. We'll see you all next week. Very exciting stream. QuinlyVision.com/quiz. We'll be tuning into Polymaker's stream to see how they do in half an hour and how their audience does. Yeah, nice to see you guys again on stream, and we'll see you all next week.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Right.
Thanks for watching.
See ya.